We're looking at two compact 99 watt hour batteries that are perfect for filmmakers and creators. The Core SWX Xcell V99 and the KNF Concept 99 watt hour V-mount battery. You might have known this one from the last video that I've done recently that says this is my favorite battery right now. And spoiler alert, this one's gonna give it a run for its money. No pun intended. Both are travel friendly, both power your cameras and accessories, but each one of these takes a different approach. One is about longevity and smart design. The other one is about just pushing raw power. So let's go ahead and break these both down. And of course, the first thing we're going to start with here is build quality of each of these. The Core SWX, it's super compact, it's lightweight, it's TSA friendly, of course, both of these are with 99 watt hours, just under that 100 limit. And they both have a full LCD color screen, which can show you, runtime, percentages, draws, and this one even lets you upload your own logo, which that is just so cool. Man, I love that feature. It just makes it so personal. This Core X feels very rugged. It's built like a tank, and it's definitely built like it's going to be lasting a long time. Unlike the KNF, there's not a humongous glass screen on this thing, but this little part is made of Gorilla Glass right here that does cover the LCD. But other than that, it's just a solid plastic build. It gives you everything you need on the screen, including the logo. You can press the button to get little updates, and see how it's green. You can actually change that color based on whatever battery you want. So if you need to color code all your V-mounts, this is a perfect tool for that. It has all the port covers and everything. Speaking of ports, this thing gives you one USB-C port that is limited to 65 watts out, but it does have 100 watts in, so you can quickly charge this thing. You have a USB-A port, which is 24 watts out, your standard D-tap port, and you also have a 8 and 12 volt barrel. So you got two of those, unlike the KNF, which only has one 12 volt barrel. So this thing does give you all the barrel connections, everything you need. It does lack one less USB-C than this one, but we'll get to that in a little bit. The KNF gives you a variety of stuff here. So you have two USB-C ports, one of which is 100 watts in and out. And I think that's one of the biggest things that separate this battery from most. You can get 100 watt in and out, which is a huge plus for powering things like your laptops, your 16-inch MacBook Pros, but then it also has a USB-C 65 watt in and out, and then you have a 24 watt USB-A port, and then you have that DC 12 volt barrel plug. So the KNF definitely leans on flexibility and higher wattage outputs, but here's where Core's mindset comes in. They intentionally limit their USB-C port to 65 watts because their focus is battery longevity and safety. Pushing 100 watts through a small little battery stresses the cells and shortens its lifespan. So Core wants to pack this and have it last for years to come, and not just deliver on pure raw speeds. And they have higher quality cells in the battery versus, these cheaper Chinese brands. So you're definitely paying that. This is built in the USA. It's built solid. Just let that sink in a little bit. You're dealing with a US company, and there's a lot more to that, and we're gonna go over that here in a little bit too. But the cool, unique feature about this Xcell is that you can put your own custom logo on there. And like I said, you just double tap that button and you can get your logo popping right up on the screen. It's so cool. Let's see. Oh yeah. That's just, you don't see this in a lot of batteries. They definitely let you have that custom ability. And then, if you're talking about ergonomics, just the way that you can see the scroll through, see logo, percentage, You know, you can see these bars on the side that help you from a glance. So if you're not right in front of the battery and you're off to the side a little bit, you can still see your battery, you know, how much battery life you have based on these bars roughly. And then you also get like it gives you a little time frame, and this updates based on what you have plugged into the device. And it's going to give you a basic runtime of this battery based on what's plugged into it, or what it's plugged into. So it's very neat. The K&F doesn't have all that. It just has a nice screen that you can press and give you, you know, the indication of the percentage. Now, I will say that the thing about this K&F is when you have things plugged into it, it will give you the wattage draw and tell you what each product is drawing from. So that is a huge plus, but you don't get the cool logo, you know, you just get just a basic thing, and you can look at the body, and the build is great. Don't get me wrong. I just think that the screen, this little glass cover, if you are in the field a lot and you're rough with your stuff or whatever, this is highly prone to get scratched, where the core, you don't really have that issue. So if you're really worried about your gear looking ugly, I mean, these are very close in size. The core definitely wins in weight and size. The K&F just looks pretty. I mean, it looks premium. That glass cover makes it look premium. This, like, you know, plastic gray, you know, metal look to it. It just looks like a premium battery. I even asked my wife, I gave her both these batteries and I said, which one do you think is more expensive? And she looked at it and said, the K&F is more expensive. And then when I just kind of gave them to her to hold, she said that the core does feel more premium as far as the feel goes. She said it does feel a little bit more solid, but if she had to go based on just looks, the K&F wins for just that premium look. And I guess, you know, it's cheaper, whatever, but you can't put your logo like this, like you can on this one. So that's kind of cool. I mean, they each have their little differences, and that's really for you to decide which one, you know, you like better. We're gonna go in and I'm gonna tell you exactly how here you can upload your logo to this core battery, and they made it quite simple. So what you're gonna do is there's a link in the description, and you could just go to that, but you just go to the core's website, you click on your profile, you log in, and then there's like a little logo generator there. All you have to do is take a image that is 240 by 240, a JPEG. You connect your USB thumb drive, which has to be 32 gigabytes or less, into your computer. So USB-A thumb drive, you plug that in, make sure you format it with FAT32 or exFAT. Then you just upload your logo to the site, make sure it's 240 by 240 JPEG. And the easiest way for me to do this is I just opened up in Canva and just said, this is the size I want. Press generate, and then it saves it to the file to your computer, a .logo file. You take that .logo file, you drag it onto your thumb drive. It has to be on the root of the thumb drive. It can't be in any folders or anything like that. And then what you do is you just take the USB-A, plug it straight into the top of the battery, and in the DTAP port, there's in the circle, you'll see like a little small like hole, and you just take a tool, or you can take a paper clip and just shove it in that little hole. The battery will shut down, it'll restart, it should reboot, and your logo will appear on the screen. And that's how easy it is. This core screen is really the secret weapon of this whole thing. It shows run times, multiple display colors, and of course, you know, the custom logo option, which just separates it from the K&F. The K&F screen, like I said, is simple. It has runtime, it gets the job done, but it's just basic, you know. But I will say, if you do like to see what draws from the K&F, this does. When you plug your devices in, it'll tell you how much percentage you're getting, your stuff is drawing from that. The Core SXW does cost a bit more than the K&F, but what you're paying for is you're paying for longevity, you're paying for a better battery in there, a professional grade display with your own custom logos, the look, you're getting side notifications here on how much battery you have, and you got to remember that this is a US brand, so you're gonna get that US customer support. I will tell you firsthand by dealing with them through email, they respond in normal hours. They are very quick to respond, and you're probably not going to get that good of communication out of the KNF if you do need that. So that's why you see a lot of rental houses and stuff using these core batteries, because it's a quality battery. They know they can, as they're renting their gear out, they don't have to worry about it just dying. Also, that support factor from them, they're all in the US. The KNF Concepts, like I said, it's still not a bad battery. It's really good for the price, but for that cheaper money, you are getting a non-US brand, and you get a little bit more high outage for that with that 100 watt, because they don't really care about the longevity of their batteries as much. You get some more port flexibility in that front, minus the barrel, and then you get budget friendly. Yeah, it's really hard to choose between these two, because it really depends on if you're the kind of person that is money first, or if you think about longevity and quality first. If you're just looking to get out and get the best bang for your buck, well, then you're probably going to still go with the KNF. But if you're looking for, just a more quality cells, you want to support your US brands, and you want something that's sturdy and that can go out into the field, this Xcell is probably a really good option, and it's definitely a clear winner. But if you're very budget conscious, then the KNF Concept is the one you're going to go with. Either way, both of these can fly safe and give you dependability in the fields. It's a hard one, it's a hard draw. I really have been loving this Xcell. If you can support US companies and not spend a whole ton more, then I would say the Xcell is definitely a great option. And they did a great job of producing a battery that is more budget friendly for us creators, because we don't need a lot of these bells and whistles that pro filmmakers need on the set. And that is where they typically have made most of their products. But this is their first time making a more budget conscious product, but with the same quality of batteries and cells that you would find in their other higher tiered products. That's why I said this battery really is very budget, even though it's still not as cheap as the KNF Concept and a few other Chinese brands that you might find on Amazon. But if you do look at the pricing, it's very comparable. This comes in at $180, and the KNF you can find on sale for, I don't know, I've seen it on sale for $80 recently, which is crazy. But it typically sits around $100 to $120 max. But usually you'll find these on for about $100. So you just gotta weigh yourself. This one's $80 more, and that's what you're getting for the money. So if you like this battery or this one, both of the links will be down in the description below. I gotta say a big shout out to Core. Thank you so much for sending me this battery for review. I appreciate it, and because of you people watching my videos, they did see that they found this video through my KNF review, my last one I did. So I thank you guys for supporting me on this channel. The links in the description will also go back and support this channel 100%. Like, subscribe, do all the fun YouTube things, and you guys know that I will see you in the future.